crazy.
This is the part of the race where you dance with anyone you can find, really.
Well, you know that you have to have someone or you're going to be in trouble. You see these cars go by you so fast, you have to find someone quickly.
Kevin Harvick has led the most consecutive laps of the 7 leaders, and that is 5. And Sadler out front right now. So let's get an update as we go back a little farther in the field. 10th and 11th place, Carl Edwards, Jamie McMurray. Shannon, what are you hearing?
Well, Carl Edwards and Jamie McMurray, they've been quiet so far this race, but really it has been by design. These two started this race and they were committed to each other. However, they were not able to practice with each other because Jamie only did qualifying laps in practice. So you saw at the start of the race, it did take them a little bit of time to get hooked up. But they are there, and Carl Edwards said today, you have to be there at the end. And being there at the end, you have to be patient. A little bit of foreshadowing, I think, guys.
And they're trying to close on the Wallace brothers. Mike in front of Kenny. You're on board with Mike, and oh, they had to break apart. And watch what happens. Bye-bye. Look out, trouble. The 30 of Ricky Carmichael. His dream of winning in 4 wheels. Also the 07 spinning around of Danny Eflin. Our second caution is out. The 5-time winner here at Daytona in Supercross. His goal is to be the first to win on 2 and 4 wheels, but that is going to have to wait. Eflin able to keep it off the wall, and he's back underway. Carmichael with a ton of damage on the left and back, and he was 20th at the time of this incident. Let's go back and see what happened.
Yes, Timmy Hill on his back bumper, but he's on that right side pretty hard.
Looks like he lost the left rear tire.
Yeah.
Must have had some contact with another car earlier and cut that left rear tire down. As you can see, the tread rubber coming off of it. So watch right here. That's where it comes loose.
And notice the 13 in front of the 33 there. Jennifer Jo Cobb ahead of Clint Bowyer. She gets the lucky dog and gets back on the lead lap. And there is what's left of the 30. So looks like Turner Motorsports could be down to 3 bullets.
Well, that's what happens. You know, we saw a lot of craziness going on with all those cars 3 and 4 wide, and they're all pushing each other. There's bound to be contact, and when you do that, I mean, these sidewalls are real fragile. It's just not, doesn't take much to cut that left rear down.
Danica Patrick, of course, now has led a total of 7 laps, although it looks like she's going to lose the lead here. But here they come back. She talked about leading at Daytona back in February.
It gives me confidence that if I find the right person to work with out there, that I can go to the front. It also gives me confidence that the team has prepared a good car and that it's fast. And it was fast in qualifying and it was fast in the race. So now it's just a matter of finding someone to work with and going to the front.
Well, she's led more tonight than she has in her 18 previous starts combined, although she's not leading right now. But here they come again, because Sorensen had to make the switch here at the Subway. Jalapeno 250 at Daytona. And look out, the 14 of Eric McClure has tagged the wall and is skating across the infield. That is down in the turn 1 area. And
big
our
break for Bowyer.
Third caution comes out, and Clint Bowyer will finally get the lucky dog. So the 33 will get back on the lead lap. The 14 of McClure was 23rd at the time of this deal. That's Mike Bliss pushing him.
Oh man. That was a hard lick right there.
Yeah, misjudged just a little bit. It only takes that little bit to create a bad accident.
A lot of damage, and the window net is not down on Eric's car. So let's just stay here and hope that he is A-OK. Now, I see him reaching for it now. That's good news. That's good.
That's a hard angle there.
He's fine, Mike. I couldn't hear what you're saying, but he's fine.
Yeah, nothing deliberate there by any stretch of the imagination.
No, at 190 miles an hour, trying to make that calculation and, know exactly where your front end is, it can be difficult, but it only takes those few inches to create a situation just like that.
Safety crew still working, and you can see that NASCAR has checked everything on the timing loops. Danica Patrick is shown as the race leader, with Tony Stewart in second. And she has now led a total of 8 laps tonight.
Time for the restart. Remember, you can't change lanes until you've crossed the start-finish line. Kenny Wallace got penalized for that on the last yellow. Let's watch this one.
13 of Jennifer Jo Cobb. Looks like she has blown up as she is smoking down the front straightaway. They are still green on the racetrack as she is pulled to the apron. She's got damage to the front end as well. Keep eyes on it, but the caution is now coming out. So it'll be everyone getting out of the throttle, and we'll start it all over again.
I saw those cars stacking up back there. Yeah, she does have.
Turn to the cutoff. Turn down to the inside of the cutoff when you get up here. Off of two.
Could have busted the.
Tell me to stop. They want you to stop.
That's a lot of smoke.
Let's look at the top of the screen on the replay.
See these cars stack up about 12 rows back.
Yeah, you can see that whole accordion effect.
Oh, yeah, right there. She was 27th at the time, and as you can see, the smoke was pouring out of that car, and she hasn't made it back, so they'll have to get the hook out and pull her in. So another tough night for Jennifer Jo Cobb. She got the lucky dog at one point, and as we said, she was in the 27th position on the lead lap. She's out of it now here at the Subway Jalapeno 250. We are under our 5th caution here at Daytona International Speedway, and Clint Bowyer has had hard contact with the wall. He was running in 3rd when everything went in the wrong direction. Here's what happened.
He had Harvick pushing him hard, looking like they were going to get maybe by these two for the lead.
Yeah, it looked like Clint was having to bite. Kevin almost was lifting the back end of the car off ground. Clint has to steer to the right here some as they run up on Carl Edwards and Jamie McMurray. You can see it turns Clint to the right, and then Kevin hooks him in that right rear just a little bit.
So the chances of the 4 horsemen sweeping the top 4 spots like they did in qualifying is over.
Feel good. Go to the high side here. Caution down, caution down.
Well, I'll tell you, we saw it yesterday with Michael Annett and Stephen Wallace, although they did not have this much damage. You get on the wrong side of that bumper.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just it lifts it up, and literally Clint was just being steered to the right, and then Kevin just thought he could keep pushing, and as he did, it just turned him. This situation, in Clint Bowyer's situation, you can't get out.
No, you can't get mad. That's the boss.
Well, and
no, it's not on purpose.
We
You see the one car. You see the one car on the apron right here. He might be a little bit low on fuel because he was due to make a pit stop.
Yeah, McMurray last stopped on lap 35, as did Carl Edwards, and we have completed lap number 80 right now. So, and this final caution here means everybody will be able to come in and go the distance. So here's the money stop. Dave, it's all yours.
And that 0-1 car, always one to watch here. He gets a challenge down on either side, but Mike Wallace is definitely going to try to stay in it. He has Allgaier as a partner. He loses him. Oh, this could be the disaster he wasn't looking for. He used Joey Logano as a partner earlier, but remember, he's won here both in trucks and nationwide if he could just keep the partner.
And you can see the gap from high above, and he is trying to reel back in to hook up with the 31 of Allgaier.
Yeah, they got split by Danica Patrick and Eric Almirola going to the inside there. Made it a 3-wide situation, or 6 cars, whatever it was, but they'll get hooked back up and going forward again.
Oh, the 87 has been turned, and he and the 97, Conway and Joe Nemechek, brushed the wall. Now they gather it back up, but the caution has been put out.
You see the hood flapping on that 87. Knock the hood pins out of it.
So we are now under our 6th caution of the night.
Now we're getting down now to 10 laps to go and less. That's when it's going to get really, really hairy out there.
Well, to give you an idea, the final green flag stretch has been less than 10 laps in 18 of the last 23 races.
Conway just turns Joe, and he has no control of that thing.
Boy, a nice gather, though. He gets it back together, even though he did brush the wall.
That could have been a lot worse than the way it turned out.
45 degrees.
Good save by Stenhouse. Look at the 38 diving low.
Flying off of Kenny Wallace's car.
Wow.
That's the least amount of damage to all of those cars that could have happened right there.
Best scenario, best possible scenario this worked out.
You know, when you think about it,
huge wreck.
We have had about 2 or 3 opportunities like that where we could have had a multi-car mess, and some nice driving has kept it to a minimum. Down the back straightaway, Elliott Sadler. Here comes Danica Patrick and Eric Almirola. 72 races in the Nationwide Series. Since Sadler has won, he is the only one in the top 4 in the points that has not scored a win yet this year.
Got to do some serious blocking if he's going to win this race from Danica Patrick, though.
Now we've got 2 laps remaining. Here would be the point standings if it stays the same. Somehow I have a feeling it may not. Here comes Joey Logano with Kyle Busch down on the low side. Look out for lap traffic. They gave him just enough room.
You see Rusty Wallace's car is now just moving into the picture. They're making a move.
They get past Danica Patrick. They lost contact again, and they are getting passed by about 4 cars. Next time by, it'll be the white flag lap.
62 and 66 have a head of steam coming to the white flag here.
This could be the best finish RWI has had. Here comes the white flag.
They got to run.
Yeah, they're going to separate those 2 right there.
1 lap to go. Down on the low side, it's Annette with Stephen Wallace pushing. Neither one of them has ever won a nationwide race. Look out, Danica brushes the wall. They gather it back up. Sadler in trouble now as they broke apart. He and the 9 of Tony Stewart.
Logano and Kyle Busch to the lead.
On the high side, and all of a sudden, the Annette combination breaks apart. Here comes Reed Sorensen, and he could win the $100,000 bonus in the Nationwide Dash for Cash. Coming out of turn number 4, it looks like Joey Logano, who's been so good at pushing, may end up winning. Oh, crash in the back. At the stripe, the win goes to Logano, and look at the carnage behind. We have got 1 car on fire. There's what's left of McMurray.
That was a big, hard crash. See parts laying everywhere. There's Mike Wallace. Got the winning it down.
2 races in a row for him to get crashed on the very last lap.
Murray,
Restrictor
same
plate.
thing.
Almirola was the car that was on fire. He gets out okay. There's Stephen Wallace, and he looks to be okay. That's what's left of Tony Stewart's car and Danica Patrick's. For Elliott Sadler, the disappointment has got to be immense. He led the most laps, 31. Not only does he not win the race, he doesn't win the $100,000 bonus. It's going to go to Reed Sorensen, who finished in 3rd. And here, let's see what happened on this last lap crash.
Well, that's all. That's just the last lap of a race. You can see Mike Wallace kind of got separated. He tried to block and pick up a little bit of air. He and Danica got together, and then that just created a big mess.
I hate seeing that many good race cars get torn up right at the finish. Heartbreaking.
And remember, for Joey Logano, as we take another look at it, he wins after starting at the rear of this field.
Yeah, and had to go back there again after having a spin on the backstretch and pitted too early. Had to go to the back of the pack then also.
There's another look at all the carnage, the flames on the 88. Let's go on board with Tony Stewart. Hold on.
Watch here now. Go outside here, outside.
I'm surprised the camera held on. Here's Danica's view. flames from Eric Almirola's car in front of her. Look at how it lit up the sky. One more view, and watch the 01.
Yeah, this is where Mike Wallace goes up. Danica gets a little bit, and actually the 88 gets back into the left rear of Danica and turns her down into the 01.
So let's check in on some of the guys that were involved in this. Stephen Wallace is with Mike Massaro.
Yeah, he was in the middle of it, Marty. His car, in fact, came to rest on pit road. A heavy lick. What happened?
It was just a tough day. You know, me and Michael had a really good shot to win that race, and water temperatures kept climbing and climbing and climbing, and they got to 300, and I thought we had a shot to win that race, man. I just really wanted to win that thing for the Infinite Hero Foundation, all the Wounded Warriors and all that really bad, but we were close, and it's just the motor got hot and started blowing up going down the back stretch, and that's when me and Michael got disconnected, and then all hell broke loose going down the front stretch. It's just that style racing, but I want to thank 5 Hour Energy, Oakley, Infinite Hero, you know, all the Wounded Warriors, and we were close, man. It's just that motor got hot, and that was just, you know, the typical Daytona there at the end.
And you can hear the disappointment in Steven's voice, Marty. Had a good run going.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, all of a sudden, they were in the mix. They hadn't been there all day, and then all of a sudden, there they were, as another tough end to the night for Steven and Michael Annette. But a great end for the evening of Joey Logano. Let's send it to Dr. Jerry Punch.